welcome to Mr. Mike's world where I've been trapped my entire life. Well, we are on chapter 11 now, which is talking about Roman Christianity. Section 1 is talking about the change from the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire, and we'll talk about pages 322 to 324 in class. So if you want, you can skim over that right now. Otherwise, we're going to go on to page 325. From page 324, you just need to know that senators killed Julius Caesar because of how powerful he became and how little power the senators had. And make sure you read page 324 about the end of the Republic. But here is Rome's growing empire. When Rome became an empire, it already had a ton of land, and the emperors of Rome just made it larger, and they made it larger so that they could become more rich and keep control of the countries around them. And they soon took control of most of Europe, including Britain and Asia Minor, Mesopotamia, North Africa, and everything around the Mesopotamian. Now that is a huge area. Because of how much land they had, they could trade quite a bit. There were things that Italy did not have that they would trade for, including spices and silk, metals, cloth, and food, and they sent away things like jewelry, glass, and clothing. Romans used coins that they made to trade with people, and everyone accepted Roman coins. Now, during this time, the Roman Empire had what we call Pax Romana, which is the Roman peace. There was peace in all of the empire, and people were also generally happy. Romans were very good at science and engineering. They studied the stars and made a calendar. They studied how to be better farmers, and doctors like Galen studied the heart. They were also really great at engineering. They built roads so that their armies could travel across the country faster, and these roads still survive today. They invented cement, they created arches which can hold a lot of weight, and they created aqueducts, which is a raised channel which carries water from mountains into cities. This is what they used to get water. They also created vaults, which are arches that supported a roof of a building. Romans also loved art, and in a lot of their buildings, they copied the Greeks and they just made them better. They were known for beautiful paintings and mosaics and frescoes, and they were famous for sculptures like this one. They also created great literature. There was a man named Virgil who wrote the Aeneid. Ovid wrote poems as well, and there were many others who all wrote in Latin, which was the language of government and law. And the great thing was that almost everyone knew Latin because all business was done in Latin. And so everyone could read what these people were writing. Now, out of Latin came many different languages, and these are called Romance languages. They include Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian, and also many English words come from Latin as well. Rome also had a system called civil law, which is a legal system based on a written code of laws. So they wrote down their laws and then they created the government around them. And lots of countries do this still today. Now we'll be going over all of section 2 during class, so I just want to highlight some of the most important things in this video. First, Rome mainly had religious tolerance, but they had some problems with the Jews. The Romans occupied Judea, where the Jews lived, and this made them very upset, and they rebelled against the Romans. Then the Emperor Hadrian tried to ban some Jewish rituals, thinking that this would make them give up Judaism, but it only made them more angry. Second, there was a religion that made its way to Rome during this time, which was called Christianity, and it started mainly with Jews. Christianity was based on the life and teachings of Jesus of Nazareth. They called him the Messiah, which means God's anointed one. Jesus was killed by crucifixion, which means he had nails driven through his hands and his feet to a wooden cross. Christians believe that Jesus became alive again after he died, which proved that he was the Messiah, and this is called the resurrection. Third, Christianity became very popular in Rome. It began by being spread by the apostles, which were 12 disciples that Jesus chose, and they received special training. Eventually, the Emperor Constantine would make Christianity the official religion of Rome. Okay, so section 3 is about the end of the Roman Empire. So the Roman Empire is huge by about 100 AD, but by around 200 AD, some emperors had given up land, and some people thought that the empire was too big and that they wouldn't be able to defend it. And they were right, because people attacked from the north and from the east, and it made Rome pretty weak. Because of these attacks, lots of people became nervous and left their land. These people from Germany were attacking Rome, soon came and moved into the places where these people moved out. And when they did, they completely ignored the Roman government. Disease also spread throughout the empire, and Romans had to raise taxes. So at this point, Rome needs a very strong emperor to come and take control of the government. Then an important man named Diocletian became emperor around 280 AD. He split the empire up and had a co-emperor. But Constantine brought the empire back together, and he moved the capital from Rome to Constantinople, which means the city of Constantine. It's in Turkey, and it is now Istanbul. Now, eventually, Rome started losing its power, and it began when a people called the Huns came and kicked out the Goths from southeastern Europe. The Goths did not live in the Roman Empire, but when they were defeated, they moved there. So the Roman government tried to keep them out, but the Goths defeated the Western army of Rome. Eventually, these Goths sacked Rome, which means they destroyed Rome completely in 410 AD. This made a lot of people scared because this had not happened in 800 years. After this happened, it inspired people like Attila the Hun to start attacking the Romans as well. Emperors were not doing a very good job of ruling, so military leaders took control of Rome around 450 AD. One general from another country defeated the last emperor and declared himself king, and this was the end of the Roman Empire. What? You want a list of the reasons why the Roman Empire fell? I guess I can do that. 1. The empire was huge, and it was impossible to have a government for all of the empire. 2. There was corruption, which is when people start to lose their good values. This was happening mainly in the government. And 3. Many wealthy people went to their homes and created their own armies to protect themselves or to take power from the emperor. There was no leadership to stop them from doing this, and these things made the Roman Empire collapse. Now, there still was kind of an Eastern Empire of Rome, even though they didn't hold the city of Rome anymore. But Justinian was an emperor who wanted to retake the old Roman Empire. He also created Justinian's Code, which made Roman law simple. Now, there was a time when people rose up to take control of Constantinople from Justinian, but because he listened to his wife Theodora, he stayed and fought them, and he won. After Justinian died in 1453, the Ottoman or Uthman Turks took control of Constantinople and ended the Eastern Roman Empire. Now, the last thing you should know is that there was something called the Byzantine Empire, which is the society that was in the Eastern Roman Empire. Christianity was very important to the Byzantines. And that does it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hope that it helps you study. That's about it. Okay, I'll see you later.